Are you living your passion? What is your passion? Welcome to the Luxe Life Discovered podcast, where we talk with people who are living a lifestyle that reflects their passion, because we believe everyone should enjoy living their best life, their Luxe Life.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Luxe Life Discovered. I'm Rick Steiner. This is my co-host Shannon Richmond, and we'll be talking with Robyn Evans, the COO of By the Sea Resorts today. And Robyn, we're glad to have you with us. I mentioned you're the COO of By the Sea Resorts.
Yes.
And so tell us a little about your company, how long you've worked there.
I have been with By the Sea Resorts for about 3.5 years. I have been in hospitality for 35. That makes me old. We have 11 hotel properties, 4 restaurants, and we also have several commercial laundries. Okay. I oversee the restaurants and the hotels.
Okay. And so the most recent recognition or celebration has been the Radisson, your flagship on...
Our flagship hotel was Legacy,
right?
Which people absolutely loved, and it was our premier hotel. We decided to take it to a brand, and Radisson was that upper tier brand that really struck a chord with us. And so the Radisson is the beginning of a new legacy.
You said that at the grand opening,
I did.
And I thought that was that was very clever how you pulled that all together.
It didn't come from me.
Oh, yeah. Don't tell anybody that. I thought it was great, but it does represent a new legacy, and it's
Absolutely.
a beautiful property.
Absolutely. It's gorgeous. And the team that put that together is absolutely awesome. We're very, very proud of them.
So back in the day, years ago, By the Sea had 1, 2, 3, 4 properties,
Correct.
and now,
Wow.
every year we see like you're getting a new property and you're making it beautiful, and it's just bringing so many people to our community.
I think the owner's vision is all about Panama City Beach. It's not about Atlanta. It's not about Destin. It's about Panama City Beach. And so when there is an opportunity, he looks at that opportunity, we research that opportunity, and I think the key is doing the right thing at the right time. We own several lots in between our hotels, but it doesn't mean that you build on that every year. You look at that and see when the right time is. And I think that he has a great knack for that. And I think that our teams, our marketing departments, our construction department, we're like a one-stop shop. We research that heavily to make sure that we're doing the right thing at the right time.
And you guys are also very, very involved in the community. Every time we see something, we see somebody from By the Sea Resorts.
It's important to us, and not just myself, but to our directors, managers, staff members. In fact, I have a managers meeting every Monday morning, and I was speaking about that yesterday morning, that it's how important it is for us to be part of the community, to participate with the community, and to give back to the community. This community has given us a great deal and continues to give us a great deal, and so it behooves us to give back. This is a community like none other that I've ever seen, and I mean that wholeheartedly. As I said, I've been in the hospitality industry for 35 years, and this is probably one of the greatest communities that I've been involved in.
Wow, that speaks volumes.
It does. So you've been 3.5 years?
3.5 years, yes.
Where were you before, and what was your background in hospitality?
Same thing. I was with a different company. That company actually sold to Choice, which owns a lot of properties across the country and internationally. At the time, I had been traveling probably close to 280 days a year.
Oh, wow.
And I had the opportunity to interview with By the Sea Resorts, and the opportunity to be able to be home and enjoy my home and enjoy my husband and enjoy my grandchildren to be at that time. Yeah. And it just worked out. It took a couple of months, but it worked out, and I'm so very glad that it did.
Well, good. The grandchildren kind of play a role in everything now, don't they?
I have 3 granddaughters now.
Oh, goodness.
I have one that's 5, one will be 3 on Christmas Day, and then we have our newest one who was born on April 1st.
Aww.
And so they play a huge part in every decision we make, it seems like, and we will see them in 2 weeks.
Oh, okay.
So they don't live far from us.
Right. Well, good. We, my daughter and son-in-law are going to Mexico next summer in June, and so I was joking with my daughter. I said, so what if we take Bella? She's 4. I said, well, I think we're going to take her to Disney World that week. And she's like, Dad, you are not taking her until I go. And I was like, you won't know the difference? She goes, oh, I will know the difference. So grandchildren have a way of like just
Absolutely.
hitting you where,
Absolutely.
nothing else does. So
we FaceTime quite a bit. They live right outside of Pensacola, so it's not too far away. But we do FaceTime a couple times a week and just enjoy watching and seeing them grow. And from one week to the next, oh, she learned that. Oh, we were FaceTiming, and I actually got to see my youngest granddaughter sit up for the first time.
Oh, wow.
So she was on the floor and suddenly sat up.
Yeah.
So that was exciting.
FaceTime has changed the world. That's true. Yeah.
Yes, it has.
So,
in many different ways, not just in that way, but many different ways.
This episode of Luxe Life Discovered is brought to you in part by Steiner Event Group. Steiner Event Group is a national event planner that produces results for their clients. They offer event and wedding planning on any scale, hosting bridal shows, scouting talented models, and producing riveting concept photo shoots to help their clients expand their brands, products, and services. Whether you're a business professional aiming to take your brand to the next level, planning a corporate or private event, a bride seeking to have the wedding of your dreams, or a model ready to be discovered, Steiner Event Group is ready for you.
So
Well, we always spend 2 weeks in June, the last 2 weeks of June here with my daughter and her family. And so the beach area, Panama City Beach, that's such a key part of our family.
Absolutely.
So,
And it is a great family destination. It's a great place to live. One would think, oh, it's a touristy kind of thing. Yes and no. It is a community of permanent residents. It is a community of schools and after-school activities and history and wildlife, marine life, nightlife. It's all there. And then, of course, the churches and the community events. It is a truly encompassed, full-ride community.
Right.
And we lived up at the north end of the county up until August of 2020. We bought our house in 2020 here on the west end. And it really is night and day, but it is probably the best move that we have made. My husband is an outdoors person. I love the beach. I love, going out and shopping and enjoying what the city has to offer, just walking around, watching the people. And it's not all about the beach. There's so much more to it than that. Of course, that's the draw.
Right.
And for the hoteliers, that's really the big draw. But there's so much more, and there's so much activities. Even something like Save the Turtles and things of that nature,
Right.
to get involved in those things. We have small retail shops and that do these awesome things. I went to a women's symposium a couple weeks ago, and I thought, why are we going to do these things in this room? And I sat down and I did these little things that they were having us do, and I thought, well, this is nice. This is really great. I made a piece of jewelry, and where's that shop at? I'd really like to find that because I want to make another piece of jewelry. And then I painted this elephant, and I thought, why are we painting this elephant? But she's speaking, we're painting the elephant, and the picture ties together, and the elephant now sits in my granddaughter's room at my home. So it all ties back to the kids. But it is a definite growth and development burst that we're having here. There's still land here.
Yes.
Condominiums, hotels, apartment communities, shops, new stores, large companies, they're all coming here. And not to mention that we're going to have a great health center here soon.
Right.
And that's huge for jobs. Of course, we all feel the labor shortage here, just like everywhere else across the U.S., but something like that to bring a whole new dynamic to the city is just huge.
We were talking about the job shortage, and you said you have 11 properties. So what's your biggest challenge with COVID and because all your properties are Gulfront?
The majority of them are.
Okay.
I have a couple that are not, but the majority are.
All right. So what's your biggest challenge then? Because I know with labor, it's hard to get workers sometimes.
It is.
So
the biggest challenge, obviously, is cleaning. That's the biggest challenge. That's your biggest labor shortage is housekeeping, housekeepers, laundry, housemen. That's the bigger shortage. And not to sugarcoat it, sometimes they're working 6-7 days a week. And we have great team members who that is their passion and desire. So they continue on. In fact, again, I had another conversation with an individual yesterday, one of my housekeeping managers, and one day she felt at the end of her rope, and the next day she was renewed. She took a couple hours, and she said, "I'm back in it. I'm good. I can do this." And I said, "I know you can, and I'm proud of you." I just want to say that I don't know about other hotel companies in the area, what their feelings are or what their true needs and vision are. But I can tell you this. For By the Sea Resorts, we are a caring, empathetic, motivated, supporting team member with our teams. We participate with them. And I think that's a key. You have to be a participant in the game you play.
Right.
And it's key to us to do that, because what good would it be, especially with a labor shortage, if we didn't back them, if we didn't support them, if we didn't motivate them and be on their side and have their back, because they have hours. That's right. Whenever we need it, they have hours. They're cleaning rooms, they're cleaning floors, they're power washing driveways, they're emptying trash, they're greeting our guests with a smile on their face and a good vibe all the way around. So if they have ours, we certainly need to have theirs, and we need to show it, and we try to.
True. Well, I stay at a lot of your properties when I'm here, and so we were talking earlier, found one little sweet spot, Sugar Sands on the west end.
Yes.
And until I stayed there the first time, you don't really think about that being that much of a difference between the west end of the beach and like mid-beach or even the east end. But it's amazing the different areas that they're so close but so different.
They are. And I think that's one of the great things about the number of hotels we have and where they are located. Again, doing the right thing at the right time, because there's a niche for everybody. There's the middle class, there's an upper tier, there's someone who likes to be on the east end with all the attractions for the kids, there's someone who likes to be centrally located that's near Pier Park, there's someone else who likes to be, down at the west end where it's quiet and it's more residential. And then we have the folks that like to be on Back Beach, and we've got one on Back Beach that's conveniently located to 79. It's an in and out, but it's only a 7-minute walk to the beach. We've got one that's located directly across the street from the beach, so it's not the rate is not as high as sitting on there, so that fits them a little bit better. And then we've got one that's across from the Navy Yard, which obviously is huge for them because they've got an in and out right there, directly across the street from them. Yeah. So there is a niche for everybody. As you get older, you like it a little quieter.
That's true, yeah. And yes, but it's just been fun. And then also what I wanted to bring up too about the properties, everybody that works there, very, very friendly. And
absolutely. It's something that you can't teach, by the way. It's something that when you are interviewing an individual, what is this when you're interviewing? And is it a smile on the face? Is it enthusiasm? I don't always hire people who have come from a hotel background. Sometimes it's better to have that green person who doesn't come with the bad habits, but is so enthusiastic and so passionate about wanting to be there for somebody or a situation or do what's good and to see that outcome. At the end of the day, every single one of the team members has one goal, and that's a positive guest experience. That's the one goal. Sure, you make money. Sure, there's other things during the day, getting the rooms clean and what have you, but all of that leads up to the positive guest experience, and that's what we're in it for.
That's amazing. So I bet you didn't know, Rick.
What's that?
That Robyn is on the board for the Panama City Beach Chamber of Commerce, and every one of their properties are a member of our chamber.
That's impressive. Yes.
It's important to us. And, I mentioned it earlier, it's important for us to be involved in the community, but it's also important for us to be involved with the other businesses to support one another. Meet with one another, talk with each other. We have some after hours, there's some lunches. events that we go to, but it really is about connecting. If my home needs something, I'm calling somebody who's on the Panama City Beach Chamber of Commerce. That's who I'm calling. If I'm going to eat today, I'm going to a restaurant that's on the Panama City Beach Chamber of Commerce. I am doing business with business through them, and it's huge because it is a support system for the businesses in this area. And by the way, I'll give Shannon kudos because, again, when I said that was the best move that I've made, this is the best, the very best Chamber of Commerce I've ever been involved in, and I've been with numerous.
Right. I've said the same thing, and I've told Shannon this before. It's the member caring that pulls you in and just blows you away because, you're not getting the annual invoice for your dues, like you do some places. And we were talking earlier on our first intro podcast this morning. If you're a member of the chamber and you're not involved, it's your fault.
Yes, absolutely, because it's there.
Yes, the opportunity's there, and they make the opportunities known. So it's good. And then I always joke with Shannon too. I have the good Shannon on my right shoulder when I'm talking to somebody like, they're a member of the chamber. And then the bad Shannon's over here like, don't do business with them. They're not a chamber. So,
is that who I hear?
Right. That's who you're hearing. Yeah. So,
when you're selecting lunch, you're like, okay, that's the place.
Right.
Exactly. Well, I will say you're correct about that because, again, we go back to being a participant. And that's what we have to be as a participant. If we expect support and respect and motivation, we have to give that back. Right. And that means to the other businesses in the area. They've all come here or opened up for a reason. And part of that reason is this community. And so we have to make the community the best that it can be.
This episode of Luxe Life Discovered is brought to you in part by Orville's Men's Store. Thank you, Orville's Men's Store, for supplying the men's clothing for today's podcast. For the absolute best in casual and dress wear for men, visit orvillesms.com. That's ORVILLESMS.com.
True.
We were talking about community earlier, and we're like, I bet you people that vacation here see our beaches more than we do.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, we need to take advantage of that. We've got the most beautiful beaches, but when we talk to people, when we actually get on the beach, they're like, yeah, we come here 6 times a year. And we're like, what? You go to our beach 6 times a year? I don't make it but once a year.
Yes.
So we got to fix that.
Yes.
Well, Debbie always asks, like, how long were you at the beach today? And she doesn't understand when I'm here, I'm never on the beach. I mean, I don't.
Hey, I'm up for a Chamber of Commerce beach bonfire any day of the week. I'm up for it.
Challenge accepted.
We could do the bonfire beach challenge with Forrest doing the
tasting.
The tasting. Go ahead.
So we met somebody that hasn't joined our chamber yet. But that's okay. So
I know you'll take care of that.
Yes. So we were talking, and
Good Shannon.
bad Shannon. We were talking to her, and she was telling us how people would say, like the historian was talking about what his vision was for a meal, and she went and researched it and did every last detail to a T of what he was imagining. So when he saw that, it was. So we were telling her we'll give her a few words and see what we end up with, and see if it's what we were really thinking.
So we may have to all work on this together then. That'd be.
Yes.
I'm in.
Okay.
But that's passion, right? It's
That's
passion
right.
and desire.
Yes.
So, and it's
That's right.
trying to make it right.
Right.
So,
and that's the
awesome.
whole point of this podcast that I wanted to start with, and is because your Luxe Life Discovered. And Luxe Life, it doesn't mean necessarily wealth or luxurious, but it's your passion and being able to
living
live
your best
passion.
life ever.
Yeah. So,
Absolutely.
And
okay.
and when we were talking about our very first podcast, I'm like, Robyn lives her best life.
Yeah.
I said, we've got to talk to her because what you do is you're helping our community. You're employing all these people, and you're giving them something to look up to. And they're excited when they go to work. It's not like, I got to go to work.
And we love to do that. And the other thing that we love to do, I'm a huge proponent of people. So when it's time to promote, I love to promote from within. I love to, brag. I love to use examples. And obviously, if I can't hire from within for a specific position, then we hire, out. But I love to bring people up through the ranks. It's just wonderful to see someone start out maybe in a housekeeping position and go to, which did happen, an area housekeeping manager. It's wonderful to see that, security ending up in a general manager position. over time and learning and getting those skills that they need. But it's also wonderful to interview somebody who says, I say to them, what do you want to be when you grow up? And the young person may say, I'd like to be a firefighter. Okay, come on board and I'll teach you the skills that you need for that. In fact, I may make a phone call and let you speak with someone who is a firefighter, who can let you know the skills that you need to do, the steps that you need to take.
Wow.
That person doesn't necessarily not get the job because they want to be a firefighter.
Right.
I see something in them, some desire and passion and drive that for a year or two may be very good for us. But in the long run, for his lifetime, it's going to be very good for him because he does learn the skill sets. He does learn dependability, reliability, organization, all of those things that need to be done, time management, the passion and desire to get things done and want it done and to be focused and deliberate. All those things can be taught and learned and trained on so that he could step into a role such as a firefighter that he would want to be.
That's amazing.
That is, and you're not just hiring an employee for your company,
correct.
you're investing in their life.
That's correct.
And that's huge.
And in the community, by the way,
Yeah.
because he wants to be a firefighter
Exactly,
in Panama City
yes.
Beach. So why
That's
not?
exciting.
Isn't it?
Yeah, because so much today is like a me attitude and what's in it for me now.
Yeah.
That type thing.
Yeah, we have to kind of lose that because, to see another person, I saw a quote the other day, and I know I'm going to butcher it here, but it's something in the realm of, let me stand back and clap for others until it's my turn.
Right.
And I just love that quote.
I like
I'm going to
that.
stand back over here, and I'm going to clap for you, and I'm going to send you the accolades, and I'm going to have joy for you. My time will come, but right now we're focused on you. So I really enjoyed that quote.
And we've lost that so much.
We
today.
have. We have.
Yeah.
So our community is just, we are growing
Yes,
in
we
leaps
are.
and bounds.
Yes, we are.
And it's just so nice to see that everybody is helping each other. So it's not like, oh, I'm going to open up and I'm going to do all of these things for us. Like if we call you and say, hey, we need something, even though it's for another hotel, you'll say, here, what have you tried this? So it's so nice how we all connect together and help each other in our community.
And that's what I was speaking about earlier. We're supporting one another, and we're speaking with one another. We're motivating each other. We're sending people to their businesses, other businesses, because in turn that will happen for us. Again, standing in the corner, I'm clapping for you. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're making it in your business, and there's enough for us.
And
There's
see, that's
enough
real.
for us.
That's not made up.
Yeah.
That's real.
Yeah. So I just, again, just huge on the community impact that a business can have on the community. Yes, labor, we have many people on our team, great people on our team. We want more. We need more. But when you get them, you got to take care of them. And again, that talk that I had with my staff yesterday morning is about being involved in the community, about how that needs to happen. Quite frankly, it's almost mandatory in our company. It really is, because I want people out there. I want to be seen and heard, and I want people to know the beauty of Panama City Beach, the economic impact that many things have on Panama City Beach, the growth and development of Panama City Beach, and the people. The people are good people here. Sure, we get a lot of tourists. They're in and out, but the people who are permanent residents here, who live this, breathe this, drive it in the summertime, even though they're, oh my gosh, you just work around it because you love it here so much.
With By the Sea Resorts, you have so many options, you never have to settle. By the Sea Resorts offers 5 restaurants and 11 hotels where you can enjoy the sights and the sounds of the Gulf, spread out in spacious guest rooms. Or book your next event or meeting in one of our many customizable spaces. For dining, we're serving up sunshine and good times at all 3 of our Barefoot restaurant locations. Or experience waterfront dining at the Shrimp Boat Restaurant. And enjoy live entertainment every weekend at House of Bourbon. By the Sea Resorts. We're saving you a front row seat.
We talked about that earlier, and when we see traffic as locals, we're like, wow, look at all the business coming to our area. So we're excited. So if we wait an extra few minutes in traffic,
Yes.
so be it.
Yes.
Because that's what keeps our economy growing.
Absolutely. It's a love-hate relationship,
Yes.
So Sometimes you just hate that traffic, but you know that this is keeping us alive. This is keeping us going. And the one good thing that's happening, I will say, is that it's not all tourism based anymore. There's so much more coming in. Our airport is doing phenomenal job on doing the right flights, if that makes sense to anybody, because a lot of times there's flights and you just go, that just doesn't make sense. But they're putting this together, and it is just phenomenal the way they're doing this. A lot of development at the airport. Our school systems are rated really, really high. I don't have school children anymore, but some of my team members do, and they speak about it all the time. There's some great after-school programs here. We've got beautiful parks here, and not just the golf, but there's wonderful lakes here, and just great fishing and boating and wildlife, and so many things kids can learn about wildlife and marine life. It's just awesome altogether. You can adopt a turtle. I love turtles. You can adopt a turtle and save that turtle for, when they catch them, when they've gotten tangled up in something, and they bring them back. And, I was involved in one being released probably, I think it was last year. And I was like, this is great. This is awesome. And it's this huge turtle, and he's going back home to the water. Aww. That was really great.
If that doesn't get you motivated about Panama City Beach, nothing.
Right.
I mean, that's great.
I think his name was Chester.
Chester.
But I don't remember 100% because I just was in awe of him, but I believe they named him Chester. So he was pretty cool. I liked him a lot.
So I guess there's something here for everybody.
There is. I mean, it's of course the golf is the attraction, but that's not all that's here. There is so much more. And we're just happy to be a part of that. Our company continues to grow. We've got some other opportunities coming up, which will be out there soon. But
we can't share anything right now.
Well, we have a very historic property called the Chateau. I believe it opened in 1962, if I'm not mistaken. We have taken that property down, and we are redoing it from the inside out. People love that hotel. It has a lot of nostalgia. People who were there in 1964, 65, 70s on spring break just keep coming back. I've got, people in their 70s who still come back to this property because this is where they brought their families. And so we have that going on. We're doing a couple renovations to a couple of the other hotels to bring those up. We've branded some of our hotels to, branding hotels sometimes makes sense and sometimes doesn't in today's world, depending on the property. It's all about advertising, marketing, and the loyalty program. So it makes sense for us for some of our properties, and we're looking at that very strategically to make sure that makes sense to do it at the right time. But there's just so much here, and every day, if you don't see something different, something's wrong. It really is amazing. And I'm a people watcher, so I love to watch people, and they go, wow, it's not just the beach. There's so much more. And I just enjoy it. And we have a great team, a great staff at By the Sea Resorts, and we're just continuing to move forward and be part of what's going on here.
Well, great. Well, thank you so much for being with
Absolutely.
us today. I'm motivated. I can't wait to get back and do some work now. So this has been great. And
Keep pushing forward.
Oh, definitely. So, well, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So thank you for joining us again today for the podcast. Our next episode will feature Scott Lassiter who is DJ 30A in the Gulf area. So we look forward to seeing you on that podcast.
Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this episode and want to support our show, leave us a review. That's the #1 way to help this show reach others just like you. Join us next time for another Luxe Life Discovered.